Can be it.
Leans and takes the kick. And there we are, the final score. Wrexham 3, Dorking 1. Wrexham win it. We could have scored a dozen, but to be fair, that would have been extremely harsh on a Dorking side who came, stuck to their principles, moved it around well, and frankly had an awful lot of the ball. Wrexham had to work hard in the first half, definitely in terms of balance of play inferior, but in terms of actual finishing, of course, it was a different matter altogether. First goal came in the 12th minute. Mullen feeding Lee a lovely finish into the top left right corner from 25 yards, and then in the 42nd minute, the second goal, Young with a sharp ball forwards, Mullen curling it in with his left foot from the right channel. In the 56th minute, it was 3-0. Cleworth had a great ball over the top, and Dalby driving in the box and then finishing. And at that point, Dorking looked rocky, and it looked like they could be pulled apart. But their keeper Lincoln pulled off a string of brilliant saves to deny Wrexham. Wrexham sometimes were a little bit, how should we put it, generous in their finishing. We could have scored more, definitely, but Dorking kept playing, kept their heads up, and got a deserved consolation in the 77th minute with a well-controlled header by Mutt from Borman's cross. It was good entertainment, and it had a nice feel to it. Dorking, a club that we like, and they came here and they did themselves justice on a day when ultimately Wrexham's goal power, as so often is the case, was too much for our opponents.
Yeah, we just had too much quality, but you know, all credit to Dorking. They came here, they tried to play football, they have a real identity about them, and it's just a shame that they don't have the same quality as we do. But I'm a little bit disappointed. We could have got maybe a few more goals. It would have been nice to see Ollie Palmer get a goal. He missed an open goal, but 3-1 win at home, happy days.
Absolutely, can't complain about that.
No, 3 points is the most important thing, isn't it? Whether it had been 1-0 or whatever. But yeah, we should have scored far more goals, and that could be crucial by the end of the season. But all we can do is go and win in what's put in front of us. Dorking were a decent team. They didn't go for hoofball. They played football across the back. I think we sat off them a bit too much and gave them a little bit too much space to play the ball around, and perhaps that was our tactic. But maybe we took our foot off the gas a little bit as well at 3-0 to save ourselves for Tuesday. But, you know, it is gruelling for these players. You know, Saturday, Tuesday. So and a big game coming up on Tuesday. But you know, 3-1 win. Yeah, Dorking had a lot of possession of the ball, but the clinical fashion of Wrexham was excellent. You know, I mean, the goals we scored were brilliant today, and it should have been, you know, a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. I think there was a conscious decision after about 65-70 minutes that we wouldn't press so much, we would step off, which led to the goal, but it meant there was a lot of passive possession for Dorking, and you know, frankly, if that gives us a bit more on our legs on Tuesday, then I don't mind them having a go back.
No,
we've got to conserve our energy against. We got a huge game against Chesterfield. It's one of our games in hand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is a must-win to, you know, claw ourselves closer to Notts County.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge game, that, but you got to take them one at a time, and we did the business in this one. Man of the match, I would say, shall we have a conversation about performance in general? I think there are quite a lot of good performances. I think I know who I'd go for man of the match, but there's quite a few players to consider here, I think.
Jacob Mendy, I'd say,
did well.
Certainly in there.
I would have gone for Jacob Mendy as well,
yeah,
to be honest. I think he had a really good game today.
I think if you're looking at the first half performance, I would have gone, it's definitely going to be Elliot Lee.
Yeah.
But he seemed to have dropped off a little bit second half. The runs he made was great and what have you, but I think throughout the whole match, Jacob Mendy was threatening and defensively really solid today, so I'd have to give it to him.
I'm going to make a case for Dalby.
Yeah, Dalby.
I think he did a lot of good work defensively when we were defending set pieces.
Yeah.
He battled very hard. He got his goal. He could have got a couple more, and he was trying to tee up Mullen for more as well.
Yeah.
I thought he did really well. But I will demur. I think Mendy had a good game. I think Ford had a good game as well.
And Cleworth had a really good second half as well.
Yeah.
So some really promising.
Cannon showed a lot of what he's about.
Yeah. I thought that was Cannon's best game. But going back to Cleworth, you know, he put a couple of fantastic through balls through there to our strikers. You know,
one of which led to a goal.
Yeah.
But for me, it has to be Jacob Mendy because he was really good throughout the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair play. Well, as always, it's been a pleasure bringing the game to you. And Wrexham win and put pressure on Notts County, who of course kick off in about half an hour. So let's see, although the playing team has just sacked their manager, so they'll expect to win that, to be honest. Still, puts a bit of pressure on them, you never know, do you?
Exactly. Time for me now to go meet the girlfriend in town, enjoy some tapas and a few beers.
Tapas. I think you'll find it's tapas. Yeah, but time for me to go and buy some Ben and Jerry's from Aldi. No, from Ben and Jerry's.
And what are you doing, Neil? Are you looking after some pigs or?
No. Going home. Am I going to get a takeaway on the way home? Get a Chinese.
Oh man.
Well,
nice one.
And then a quiet night in.
Fair enough. I am. Well, it's been a pleasure as always. We've loved your arse, Wrexham. I'm not thanking you for making my wife a celebrity, because now it's going to get tough for me. But nonetheless, she deserves it. What the heck? So, with the final score of Wrexham 3, Dorking Wanderers 1, we've been middle class Chay Long, Neil El Porco Williams, and me.
You're trying to call me a fatty, Mark?
No, pig.
That's even worse.
Yeah, that's true. I just meant the old Chay said, go home and slaughter a pig.